Hi YouTube, and welcome back to Let's Play The Sims 4 Meet the Bennetts. So last week we created the Bennett family, and today we get to give them a house. Now I could move them into one of the existing houses, and this is what the new neighborhood layout looks like. So you have different neighborhood sections. But I've decided to get them an empty lot and actually build a house so that those of you who watch can see how that's accomplished. You know, if you haven't already watched it on many of the other channels who've already posted this kind of content. I played right away, but I didn't have time to edit and post as many videos as I would have liked on The Sims 4, but I'm going to be doing this a little bit more frequently, and I might be just posting a bunch of these Sims 4 back-to-back, just because I'm kind of busy right now, but with work and things, so it's easier for me to focus on just one game rather than trying to get up several different games on my channel. So things are just, you know, kind of hectic at the moment. But it's easy enough for me to sit down for, you know, a couple of hours here and there and play a single game and then just chop it up into different episodes. So that's kind of what I'm doing now. Okay, so what I'm doing with the building of the house is I decided I was going to play with the new styled rooms. So these are pre-designed rooms, and you've got like the low end, which is what I'm giving them because they're kind of poor at the moment, and I'm going to try and resist using the money cheat with this series. I used it liberally with my Sims 3 series. The swans were quite wealthy, but I kind of designed them to be wealthy. So I thought, you know, with the Sims 4, let's start with something completely different. Let's have a family. So first of all, it's not a single person and looking for romance and stuff. I've got an established family. And then, you know, with the budget that they're given, you know, what kind of a house can we get? How can we, you know, decorate it, design it, get them jobs, and then see how we can upgrade from there, using just the game itself, you know, the mechanics of the game. We've got a kitchen, we've got a living room. So I'm making an extremely very basic little house here, and we can add and expand and upgrade and that kind of thing later when we when they have the money and the means to do so. Here you can see, you know, it's pretty easy to just kind of, you take the rooms and just plop them down and then just kind of line them up, and you can move the rooms, which is really nice. So anytime you have a room, and a room doesn't necessarily have to be a perfect rectangle, it can be like, you know, like an L shape or that kind of thing. But, you know, as long as it's completely connected up together and there's not like any wall gaps or anything, you can like pick up the whole room, rotate it, and plunk it down somewhere else, which is kind of nice. So I got a dining room now, got a bathroom, and we're gonna add some bedrooms. I'm trying to figure out, okay, there's kids' rooms and there's grown-up rooms and things. And the cheapest of the kids' rooms is an infant room. And I'm like, well, she's not an infant, I made her a child, and well, I don't think you can make infants even if you wanted to. So I was like, okay, do I give her the big girly room? Do I give her the big boy room? Do I give her the... Yeah, there's a number of options here. But I ended up giving her, the boy room. Or the, you know, what people would consider a boy room, because it's all blue, it's got the dinosaur, it's got the spacey theme, but the way I designed the daughter, Tara, is that she's a genius, and, you know, maybe she's interested in spacey stuff, and spacey stuff works better with blue than with pink, so maybe she's not a girly girl. I think, you know, when I was designing her outfits and stuff, I chose a lot of blues because I made, you know, I'm like, you can't choose favorite colors anymore, but, you know, like, I'm pretending that her favorite color is blue. I'm still getting used to the camera angles and things here. And I've actually recently read that there might be a way of adjusting it so that I can actually use camera controls more similar to The Sims 3, and I have yet to try that. Okay, and you can resize the rooms. The furniture stays with the room, although if the room starts to get too small for what's in the room, it dumps the furniture into the family inventory, which you can then, once you've kind of got your rooms organized the way you want, you can then, you know, go from there and move stuff around and put things back as needed. So I'm trying to make this house a perfect rectangle. I solicited some feedback from folks on Twitter and Facebook for my Let's Play, and I know the one request I got was to build a house known as a chattel house. It's basically a very, very basic house that's common in like Barbados and the Caribbean. It was a movable house, not a mobile home necessarily, but a house that could easily be deconstructed and you can move the materials and rebuild the house somewhere else. And they tended to be a bit more rectangular in shape, like a single rectangle, and then the inside, you know, you've got like it's a very basic layout and that kind of thing. And while this is not going to be a perfect chattel style house, because I am using the styled rooms and everything, I figured, you know, I'll keep the house as basic as possible, because it also saves them some money, because I need them to have some money left over, because, you know, it's going to take a little time to get them some jobs, get them some income. Trying to figure out what we can do here. And see, we lost the master bed as we made the bedroom too small, so I need to kind of rejigger things a little bit. So here I'm just making some of these rooms a little bit bigger, and then I can rearrange the kitchen a little bit, which we'll see in a moment. You can see here I'm hesitating because I'm like, okay, how do I want to do this? But these styled rooms are kind of cool. I'll maybe make the bathroom a tiny bit bigger. But then trying to get to her room, the girls' room is going to be difficult. So we're gonna try and. So I'm just kind of playing around with everything right now, trying to figure out how to lay it out, how I want to handle all of that. Make sure I have doors. Buying the cheapest of the doors. Well, the almost cheapest. The other one is like a bathroom door for like a public space. I'm like, yeah, it's a little too basic. And there, we'll have the front door that leads into the living room, because of course we're not going to have a front door that leads straight into the bathroom. That would be kind of creepy. And then from the living room you get into the kitchen leads to the dining room, and the dining room then leads to the bathroom and the two bedrooms. Although I think ultimately the way I designed it, you kind of, the daughter has to go through the parents' bedroom to get to her bedroom. Less than ideal, but I kind of decided to live with it. So, trying to just kind of organize things. Right now, there's plenty of room to get into the bedroom, into her bedroom from the dining room, but you notice that the parents' bedroom is a little bit too small. Needs to be bigger. So I definitely need to do some rearrangements here. So there, I've got the door into both rooms. So this was the original arrangement I was trying to make, is to use the going from the dining room into the bathroom, her bedroom, and the parents' bedroom. But ultimately that didn't work because the parents' bedroom is too small. So we need to move that wall over, and in order to do that, yeah, door to the bathroom. No, that would be important. The Sims tend to pee on the floor if they don't have a door to their bathroom. Alright. So now that we've got all that arranged, I'll get the lamp out of there. Oh yeah, I was trying to see if I could fit. Oh, there we go. There's the inventory. If there's any way to fit the bed in that room at all. It's like, nope, it's too small. And parents need a larger bed. And I did manage to get it in that corner, but the problem there is that only one sim can use the bed if it's in the corner. They don't like crawling across the bed. even in the newer version. So here we go. Here's where I'm rearranging the kitchen. So I'm like, oh yeah, look at that. I can let's see, put the kitchen sink and the counter over there, and if I do that, I can actually scrunch up the kitchen a bit. There. I have to fix the doorways possibly, but make the dining room a little bit smaller, and then we have a little bit more room for the parents' bedroom. But as you can see, that moves the wall in such a way that now the daughter has to go through the parents' bedroom in order to get to her bedroom. I suppose I could, now looking at this in retrospect, possibly put the door still on the dining room side, potentially. I might try and do that so that once she's a teen, she can go and have her own privacy, and so can the parents. It's always good to have privacy. Okay, I might try it. Put the trash can down, and then now that I've got everything kind of rearranged and the rooms are kind of where I'm happy with them, I can now put some of the objects back that were in there. So these are some of the objects here, some of the toys. You can see they're what normally would be considered boys' toys. This is a wall clock. So I'm trying to, okay, what's going on here? Okay, where can I put it? There we go. It'll let me put it there. And oops, I put the light over the bedroom instead of that, so let's move that over. Put the art over the bed, and then we only have one light, so let's take another one and put, there we go, that's better. I actually like the parents' bedroom, even though it's supposedly low end, but it actually looks, I think, fairly decent. And the kids' room actually looks pretty good too, so I mean, the rest of the house is a bit modest, to say the least. I'll have to run to get them a TV. I don't think they have a TV, they just have a radio right now, stereo. And I didn't rearrange that room, so there really isn't much of one. But now let's see, put some windows in, because, you know, it's kind of a boring house if it doesn't have windows. And at least the interior of the house already is decorated, like there's flooring, there's wallpaper and paint and that kind of thing. So I don't have to worry about styling that too much right now. There's a window over there. But I do still have to design and style the exterior of the house. So that still costs a little bit of money. And by the time we get to the end of everything here, there we go. It's like, nope, it's too big of a window. I'm trying to find a window that's acceptable for the bathroom, you know, because it's facing the front of the street, so you need one that's kind of like up high, and there we go. That's more like it, and it fits the theme of the other windows as well, so that's kind of nice. So yeah, so that's, you know, at least in terms of the house itself, we still have to put the exterior on the house and put the roof on and that kind of thing. And here I'm playing around with the curtains a little bit. There's curtains in the daughter's room, and I was like, well, you know, maybe I put curtains in the parents' room too. You know, give them a little bit of decoration. There we go. And the dining room as well. You can actually hang the curtains on just a plain wall. I do like the increased amount of freedom you have with building the house. I mean, you don't have create a style, so there's one customizable feature that's been taken out, but they've, you know, added in like a, you know, just like here, watch how we build a roof. I mean, I think building a roof is so much easier now. I used to hate roofs in Sims 3 and Sims 2 and the classic Sims. Roofs have kind of been the bane of my existence when it comes to building houses and roof lines and things. And I actually ultimately I've been also playing another game just privately that I'm not recording, and I actually was able to design a house that actually has a really kind of fancy looking roof line. Obviously this is a very basic house, so it doesn't get the really fancy roofline treatment, and I'm like, okay, that's trying to go over the edge is a little too much, so let's Okay, and I don't like that, so let's kind of rearrange that and bring it in a bit. This is a very, very basic roof line for a very, very basic house. But, you know, house needs a roof. Okay, but that looks pretty good. And now we just need to get some siding or something on the house. Just because, you know, house needs siding. So I'll get a little lighter color there. Oh yeah, because it's different styled rooms, you can't just click and it just does the whole exterior of the house. You actually have to do each room. Each styled room gets a separate treatment in terms of the siding and everything. But yeah, that's, you know, I mean, for a very basic house, that's not a bad house. We'll eventually also upgrade the yard as well, and add. I mean, I'm gonna add a few plants and things, but I'm not gonna make the house and the landscaping too fancy because you can see that they don't have that much money. So I'm gonna try not to cheat. But we'll eventually, like, maybe we'll build a deck in the back. I've opted not to build a foundation because, again, this is supposed to be a chattel house, and typically they're actually up on blocks, like individual cinder blocks, and that makes them easier to move and things. But unfortunately, that's not an option in this game. So I opted to just have it just plunked on the ground with no foundation, just to make it as basic as possible. Plus it saves money because I believe adding the foundation actually costs a bit of money, so. Alright, so I'm playing around with some of the shrubbery, so to speak. I'm like, oh wait, that wasn't the tree I wanted. This is the tree I wanted. That's an ornamental magnolia, which actually looks more like a pine, but it isn't. Okay, so that's too big for the front of the house. So I'll throw the pine tree in the back of the house. Give the house a little bit of shade back there. And I'm like, Oh, yeah. They got garden planter boxes now. You know, I haven't tried to plant gardens outside of the planter boxes. I don't know if that's possible. It might be. I haven't tried, like I said. But you used to be able to plant all over on the ground, and now they've got these planter boxes, and it makes me wonder if you can only plant in planter boxes now. Which, you know, fine by me. I always kind of, you know, designed my own little planter boxes when I was doing gardening anyway. And yeah, here I decided, first I decided to do azaleas because they're my favorite flower. Flowering bush is what they are. But then I said, oh, look at that, wildflowers. Let's do wildflowers. So I start doing the wildflowers here. I think they look pretty, and I'm like, let's just, they're not too expensive, so we'll throw a bunch of them in the house there. But we'll sell the azaleas and throw in a couple more of the wildflowers. There we go. Alright, so that looks pretty good, don't you think? So I think that's going to be the end of the second episode, and we'll start getting into the gameplay with the next episode. If you are enjoying these gameplays, you know, give me feedback below. Tell me what you'd like to see with me, what I should be doing with the family. Please like, please share, please subscribe. I appreciate everyone who subscribes to me. And until next time, I don't know exactly when I'll post the next one, but I'll try and post it as soon as I can. Take care. Bye-bye.